Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. Okay, so today, let's see, we're going to continue on with our factoring notes, and then we're going to practice step 1 and 2. So remember, we started with step 1, and we practiced it yesterday. So we're going to continue with that step 1, and I'm going to show you the next step. Here's a riddle for you. See if you can figure out this riddle, and this GIF over here on the side illustrates the riddle. So see if you can figure that out. That's a math riddle. Let's see here. Let me jump on over to Canvas. Thank you very much. My computer's telling me things. So today on the Canvas page, this is the assignment you're going to work on. And I'll bring it up here in a minute and on my iPad and show you. But that's where you want to go. Okay, so back to our notes. So this is where we left off. Remember, we were trying to find these special factors. So I'm actually going to erase all this scribbling I did in the box, because after we have found, and this was the assignment that you were working on yesterday, finding and filling out the X over here. Well, I told you to circle those two numbers on that you put on either side, the ones that multiply to be the top number. For this problem, it's 24, and add up to be the B value. That was 11 for this problem. You use those numbers to fill in the box over here. So I'm going to write our problem down again. So our problem actually is 4x squared plus 11x plus 6. So this is what we are actually trying to factor. Remember, this is our answer when we were multiplying two things, like over here, two binomials. We ended up with an answer that was a trinomial, had 3 terms. So we're trying to take this trinomial and factor it, or take it back to the two binomials on the outside of the box. So here is how you always fill in your box. So we found our magic numbers. Now we're going to fill in our box. This term right here, the whole thing, the number, the A value, and the X squared term, they always go in this box every single time. This 6, the number on the end, would go in the last box. And if you think about when we were multiplying these things, doing the pixel art, this is what happened. You always had the X squared in the first box, and the little lonely number, that's what I like to call it, was always in that very last box by itself. Now remember, these two boxes here were the two boxes that we added together to get our middle term here, the 11x. So actually, we need to break this piece apart. I'm going to grab a different color here. We need to break our 11x apart and put it in this box and this box. So in order to do that, we use our magic combo. We use the 3 and the 8. And it doesn't, that looks like a crazy snowman, the 3 and the 8. It doesn't matter where you put the 3 and the 8. You can put them in either box. You just got to use both of them. Use the 3 and your two magic numbers. It doesn't matter where you sit them. Now, remember what else was in that box that made those like terms? Yeah, it was an X. So you always sit the X beside them. That's how you fill in the box every single time. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and we're going to do the next example together. And then we're going to fill in the box. And this is what I want you to practice today. Okay, so we have to figure out what are A, B, and C. Well, first of all, A is the number in front of X, that's 3. B is always the number in front of, A is a number in front of X squared. Let me correct myself. B is a number in front of X, that's 23. And C is the 14, the little lonely number on the end. So then in your X, remember, A times C goes in the top, and B goes in the bottom. Well, for us, A times C would be 3 times 14. And 3 times 14 is 42. And B would be the 23. So then I said, I like to come over here and make my table, right? So I'm trying to multiply two things to get the top number in the X, the 42. And I want to add up those numbers and get 23. So I always start with 1. Well, I could do 1 times 42. And that would give me 42. But if I add 1 plus 42, I get 43. That's not 23. That's not going to work. So I cross that one out. Those are not my numbers. Okay, go to the next one. I can do 2 times something. And if you're not sure, bring up your calculator. Say 42 divided by 2. Your calculator will tell you that's 21. Okay, so 2 times 21 is 42. 2 plus 21 equals, oh, whoa, 2 plus 21 equals 23. Ding, 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 ding. There's your magic combo. That's the numbers that we needed. We need 2 and we need 21. Remember I say box those babies in. They're so super important because now they help us fill in our box. So here's our problem up here. 3x squared goes here. Little lonely number on the end. 14 goes in this box. Now, use your magic combo numbers, 2 and 21, to break apart 23x to fill in your other boxes. Because 2x plus 21x, yes, it does give me 23x. But think about it, there were so many ways we could have broken apart 23 to put in those two boxes. So when we add them up, we get 23. We could do 10 plus 13. You could do 11 plus 12. You could do, there's like so many combos here, like 20 different combos or more. So that's why we have to do this little crazy X thing on the side, because that's give me the magic combo. This is going to be just right for this problem. I need a 2 and 21. That's how I need to break it apart and to factor this. So we're going to practice doing this today. Identify your ABC, fill out your X, fill the inside of the box in. Tomorrow, we're going to find the outside of the box. Finally, that's what we're going to do. So I want you to practice this using this sheet right here. So this is what you just did in the notes. So I want you to first, and I'm not going to do number 1 because it's not going to be as tricky. I want to do number 3. I'm just going to jump down. I'll do 1 for you to get you started here, but I want to do number 3 because I think that one might be a little bit trickier. Okay, so for number 3, 2x squared minus 14x plus 20. So find your A, B, and C first. Okay, so A has got to be the 2, and B is, now watch your signs, negative 14, and C is 20. So remember, your A, B, and C are just the numbers in front of your variables, the coefficients. Okay, so in the top of your X goes A times C, and B goes in the bottom. Well, A times C for this problem is 2 times 20. Okay, so 2 times 20, that's 40. And then B is negative 14. Okay, so now we have to stop and think, okay, how do because what I need to find is, and actually I think I'm going to move over and I'm going to do my table on this side. I have a little bit more room. So I need to find two numbers, and when I multiply, I want to get those 40 when I multiply those two numbers. But when I add those two numbers up, I want to get negative 14. Now don't be confused by the way I'm writing in this table here, putting plus and negative 14. So when I'm saying when I add on this side, I want to get negative 14. Okay. So if I'm going to add two numbers and get a negative, if I ever going to add two positive numbers and get a negative? Never. One of them, at least one has to be negative. They could both be negative when I'm adding them. But let's go back over to when we're multiplying. We have to multiply to get positive 40. So remember, there's two ways to get a positive number. A positive times a positive equals a positive, and negative times a negative will equal a positive. So for this instance, the only way I'm going to be able to multiply and get a positive and add and get a negative is my two numbers are going to have to be a negative. So I'm going to make both my numbers negative. So I could do negative 1 times negative 40. That equals positive 40 because negative times a negative gives me positive 40. But negative 1 plus negative 40, that equals negative 41. That's not going to work for us. Okay, so move on to 2. Negative 2, remember both my numbers, I know they have to be negative, times negative 20. And guys, you can put this in the calculator. 40 divided by negative 2. It'll tell you negative 20 is the other factor. So negative times a negative is a positive, so that gives me positive 40. But negative 2, and put it in your calculator, plus negative 20 equals negative 22. That's not going to work. I need negative 14. So none of these are working for me. So I'm going to keep going. What about negative 3? Is 40 divisible by 3? I don't think so. But type it in your calculator. 40 divided by negative 3. If you type that in any calculator, you're going to get a decimal, right? So So let me bring up the calculator. I want to be clear. Well, hello. Okay, so where's my calculator? Oh, I'm gonna have to bring it down. So where's my calculator? Here it is. Okay, so negative 40. No, clear. I'm doing the wrong thing. 40 divided by negative 2. See? So it tells me that negative 2 times negative 20 is the 40. So then you move on. 40 divided by 3, negative 3. Ooh, decimal. See, so negative 3 times negative 13.33. I do not want to multiply decimals here. If it is we do not want to use 3. So then you move on and you skip 3 and you go straight to 4. So that's what I'm telling you when I'm saying put it in the calculator. If you get a decimal, it's not a factor. So then we move on to negative 4. Well, negative 4, we know 4 times 10 is 40. So it's the same. They're just both negative. Negative 4 times negative 10 is positive 40. Okay. Negative 4 plus negative 10. Ooh, that's negative 14. And that is what I wanted. That's my magic combo. Those are the two numbers I need. So I need negative 4 and negative 10. Okay, so now my job, I just want to fill in the box. So I have my x squared term goes here. So that's 2x squared. The lonely little 20. Now, where am I getting these pieces from? Remember, I'm getting it from the problem here. So those are the two pieces I just put in the box. They always go in those boxes right there. Think backwards. When we were multiplying to find the inside of the box, that's where these pieces went. This piece, the negative 14, was broken apart into this box and this box. So that's where I use the negative 4 and the negative 10. But remember, x was also with those pieces because when I add negative 4x and negative 10x, that gives me the negative 14x. Okay, so this is what I want you to practice. It's what we were doing yesterday with the x, but now I want you to take the magic combo numbers and actually fill in the box. That's the goal, okay? Send me an email if you have any questions.